So we're going to talk about five-man blitzes, five-man pressures out of the 4-3. Base defense, I'm a big fan of base defense, but I do like and I do think there is a place for pressures. I'm a big fan of bringing six, but I think there is a time and a place to bring five. So we'll talk about some of the things that we can do. Nothing revolutionary here. These are all linebacker pressures, edge pressures, edge blitzes. But you got to make sure you're sound in your front. You got to make sure you're sound in your run fits. You got to make sure you're sound in your coverage with them. So I'll just show you how we do it, how the system does it. These are linebacker pressures. There is a couple other ones that we could do. But right now we're going to talk about it in the key points with our five-man pressures. Number one, first and foremost, again, you got to understand if you're a contain or a plug blitzer. A contain blitzer is obviously off the edge. Nothing gets outside of them. Stay on the high shoulder, upfield shoulder of the quarterback or the ball carrier. Keep everything inside of you. Pretty easy. A plug blitzer is somebody that, as he comes off the edge, he's either going underneath. If he's unblocked, you go underneath any puller, any fullback, whatever it is, you must go underneath. You got to plug. Okay, very critical to understand that. And we actually tell our kids when the blitz is called, they tell themselves, I'm contain, or unplug. Okay? When we pressure, we want to time up and stem on the quarterback cadence. All right, one thing I've learned over the years, if you're going to blitz, it does you no good to blitz from depth. All right, it does you no good to blitz from 5 yards deep and you'll never get there. All right, the only time we'll ever blitz from depth, and that'll be in our six-man package, that's from our double A gap pressure, and we actually cheat up a little bit to make sure we get there. All right, because that's right on top of the ball. We can still influence the quarterback. But if you're ever blitzing off the edge, in my opinion, you need to be at that line of scrimmage when that blitz occurs. Whether you show it, line up there, or whether you time it up to get there, you better be on that line of scrimmage or close to it with a running start when that ball is snapped. All right? And like I said, blitz is no good if you don't get home. And then behind it, what are you going to play? We usually still play quarters. We'll just avoid a zone. Or we'll play cover one behind it. We can do both. All right, so the first one, very, very simply, base. We just call it the name of the person we want to blitz. Now, we can go base bandit. So bandit's our bandit. Bandit tells, we just signal in bandit. That's telling that guy to step up and blitz off the edge. He's a contained blitzer, okay? How we do it in our system, all we do is he has to make a call, Roger or Louis. Louis just tells these defensive linemen that the blitz is coming from the left. And Louis tells them that they are short sticking one gap, all four of them, all right, to the other side. That's it. So the blitz comes in, bandit, Louis, because the bandit's on the left side here in this set because it's 2x2, and the field's over here. Louis, he steps up and he blitzes five-man from there. Now, the key here, the boundary safety behind him has got to see the call and understand that the bandit's blitzing, and he knows he has no underneath help. He's got no reroute on this. So if this guy runs a quick out and they run seam out or fade out, he's got to play that. He's got no help underneath. Okay? So here's a picture. Here's our bandit doing a good job of disguising it, trying to time it up. You'll see our D-line. They all short stick, one gap, this way. All right? We're blitzing from the backside. We're losing our match two player over there. So if this back would be here and he'd run a wheel, this safety would have to take him. Okay? And again, we can only do this because over here we're playing a 3-by-1 adjustment. We're not playing base quarters over here, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But nonetheless, let's look at the five-man blitz. We did this a lot. This is game plan because they're an inside zone team away. So we like to stunt into the zone. And then oftentimes not, that's going to cause that ball here and to bounce, and that's exactly what happened right there. And we get a TFL. Look at the movement of the D-line there. Really good. Really, really good. 45 step, get vertical. 45 45-degree angle step, then we get vertical and pry up the field. There's another one from the bottom. Same deal. Now it's 2x2. So he can do a good job of disguising this, walking out on number two. But as he comes off the edge, he was probably a step late because this guy actually gets a hand on him. We'd like him to come free, but nonetheless, we're short sticking. These guys, he's a contained blitzer. Now this goes back to the beginning of the defense. If this guy would crack down on him, our safety's reading 2. If 2 blocks, that's called a crack. Then we must crack replace. Okay? You see our safety coming down right there. All right, one more. So again, I believe it's this guy right here doing a good job of disguising. I like this. They're in 2x2, so there's a built-in disguise. He can walk out and show man, but he knows he's coming off the edge. Our whole line gets a Louis the call. They're all slanting the other way. And again, we get 2 off the edge. Well, here, this goes back to what we just talked about, our pre- and post-snap movement. So this guy's, our defensive end, is supposed to go into B gap. He's supposed to short stick to the B gap. The tackle blocks down, so we're not going to bury ourselves. So he does a good job of coming off his butt. So, but in that picture right there, we have 2 off the edge. He knows, this goes back to what I told you, he becomes a contain. He is a contained blitzer, but this end's got to know, though, any type of block I get, I must go underneath it. He does a great job of doing that. He ends up getting the sack. All right, very, very good picture. Here we go. So again, we're bringing a bandit blitz. He's going to short stick in the B gap, but the tackle blocks down, so we go butt side. If this backer steps up the block, he's got to go under. He stays contained. And one more from the boundary down the bottom here. So again, there's times too where we'll tell them, line up there, show your blitz, and then come. Because there's other times where we'll show the blitz and then we'll pull off. Okay, so you got to have both in your repertoire. Good picture here, again, of the contain and plug. Right there, he steps up, he's contained. He goes down, butt side. When the running back comes to block, he's going to go underneath all that. Then we get the sack. Again, a cheap, easy way to create some pressure, fairly safe, especially in certain sets. Because right now we're losing our boundary number 2 player. But this safety back here has no number 2. So what are we really losing? Not much. We're getting some cheap movement, all right? And then we have our safety back to play behind it. All right, same thing, but instead of going our bandit off the edge, we're saying under. So all we're doing is the defensive end is contained. He's going to come in and blitz the B gap now. Everything else is exactly the same. Instead of Louis, we say Louis under. All right, these guys are still short sticking the other way. All right, just another gap you want to blitz. This is actually right here out of our 3-man front, but nonetheless, all right, here's our end. He gets an under call, so he's contained. Here's our bandit blitzing the B gaps. Again, decent timing. Create pressure. 3rd down and 10. And again, behind it, we're playing cover 1 here. All right, cover 1. So we're playing man free behind it. But a fairly safe way to create a little pressure and get off the field. So here we go again. Here's our bandit. Again, this is our 3rd down package, our Okie. He's contained, and he's going B gap. All right, same thing, bandit under. So it's up top to the boundary, contain with the end. All right, he's key blitzing. I say B gap, but he's key blitzing the guard. All right, if the tackle. If the tackle's down, he's going to go off his butt. Tackles out, he goes B gap just like that. And you see we get a little run through right there in a TFL. One more, again up top, bandit under. So short stick, short stick, short stick. He's going to contain now, and the bandit blitzes his B gap. This is basically just the bandit blitzing his normal gap, but a little more urgency. Nonetheless, again, doesn't always get home, but it creates pressure. And if the guy comes with a little force, comes with a little attitude behind him, it's going to spook the quarterback. Look at the quarterback. He had a nice pocket here, but because of that, the intensity the backer blitzed with, I think it spooked him a little bit, and we're able to get him out of the pocket and get the ball thrown away on 3rd down and 9. All right, another picture here. Again, bandit under. We're in our Okie front. Good disguise here. Now the end's going to come up the field. Bandit's going to go up and under. Again, dress it up however you like. Now he gets a run through and misses, but again, nonetheless, pressure. Quarterback steps up, and on 3rd and 7, we get off the field. All right, next one's our Mike. Now we don't run this very often, not as much, and I actually like it more to a 3-by-1 set. But nonetheless, we'll just signal in Mike. The Mike, he's a strong 10, so set the front, right. He's going to blitz off the right edge. He makes a Roger call because it's coming from the right. All right, defensive line, all short sticks the other way. So here's the picture here. Again, 3-by-1, we set our front to the right. All right, so it's a Roger call. We're all short sticking this way. All right, he's coming off the edge. And we're playing cover 1 behind it. So the bandit, he's got the backer, or the running back. That's why he's running out there. Nice, easy, cheap 5-man pressure versus 5-man protection. That's 1-on-1. I like our odds. And we're playing, again, safe, cover 1 behind it. And then the same thing, Mike under. So, again, he goes to the strong side, B gap. All right, so right. Everybody else is short sticking the other way. The bandit would have the open gap that's left. Roger under. So here we go.
You hear about anybody being ineligible?
It's up to the field. Here's the Mike. This would be Louis under, actually. Short stick this way, short stick this way. Mike blowing through the B gap. We'll get a nice run through there. They're actually running, looks like inside zone. We get a nice collision there. Maybe this guy right here, he's out. He's B gap. Short stick. Nice run through. Same deal. Down to the bottom. Contain. We're sticking that way. So Roger under. He's hitting the B gap. This is good versus power read. This is one of our kind of game plan deals versus power read. So that's where could hand to the running back or the quarterback could pull it. We forced the issue. We went Roger under. We went Mike under here, which is a Roger under, which put our defensive end on the running back right now, which forced the quarterback to pull the ball right into our blitzing linebacker. So again, how you want to draw things up. We drew this up based on their set. We knew they were running this based on the level 2 back, right? So this was all a game plan. Called out there in the field. I didn't call this from the sideline. This was called by our defense based on how we prepared. All right, another one here. Looks like the Mike is down the bottom here. Again, this is 3rd down. We're in Okie, so we're moving all around. We call this our magic package. Guys can move around, just end up where you need to be, but we're still going to run that 5-man pressure, and we're playing cover 1 behind it. The extra linebacker right here, or we're in a nickel package. He's got the back. So different blitz patterns, however you want to draw it up. But again, for us, it's easy. It's safe. It's the same. All right, and then the last one, this is our Falcon. This is our field backer. Again, blitzing off the edge, whatever side he comes from, he goes. Now, with all of these, I'm showing you the basic way, just telling a guy who to blitz, when to blitz. We can also game plan this, and I have some film based on if I want to just blitz the field. So I could say field 5-man blitz. So whatever backer ends up to the field, let's blitz. And that's usually the Falcon. I could say boundary. I want to blitz the boundary. Whoever's at the boundary is usually the bandit. We could also blitz to the back, right? There's times we want to bring pressure to the back, or we can blitz opposite the back. So I would say to the back 5 or opposite the back 5. And that would just activate, all right, where's the back at? Well, in this picture here, it would be a Roger call. So the linebacker to the back side ends up Roger. The back came out and lined up here. It would still be to the back, but it would be Louis. And this guy would know he walks up and blitzes. So again, everything's packaged together, and it's however you want to game plan it based on that game. So here's our first one. In this case here, this is just a Falcon. So the Falcon's up here. He's apexed. I actually told him this is a perfect situation where he could have walked out and showed man-to-man and had a better angle. I don't like his angle here. But nonetheless, we're sticking our whole D-line down here. he becomes our contained blitzer. And again, look where he blitzes from. When the ball's snapped, right there, he's 4 yards deep. He's unblocked here, totally unblocked. He doesn't get there, and they get the ball away. If he would have blitzed from the line of scrimmage, like I said, from the outcome or from the outset, then I think we would have influenced this throw a little bit more. Nonetheless, I think he might have caused the ball to go high, and we get an incompletion. But point is, you got to be on that line of scrimmage. You got to time it up to have an effective blitz, in my opinion. All right, same thing, 3-man front, so it's our third down deal. Nonetheless, we're coming from the field. Our Falcons blitzing from the field. They run stretch right into it. Linebacker does a good job of timing this up because you can see the D-line, the offensive line already committed. They already said, we're going to double this kid. We're going to run their deuce there. Our stretch scheme, our linebacker steps up late, and tackle tries to pop out late, and you get a run through there, TFL. All right, then the last one, same thing. We can run the under pattern with him, which brings him underneath, all right, into that B gap. And this is one we like a lot. Same thing, good disguise. All right, this is actually our to the back one. So this is actually a cool scheme. They were 3-by-1, and this is actually a fullback body, H-back, tight end. And they would put him here, and they would go full slide away from it. So our scheme was to run an auto, all right, 5-man pressure to that back. But we knew this tackle would step down, so our defensive end wouldn't bury himself. He'd go off his butt, so we'd have 2 off the edge right here. The end goes underneath, linebacker goes outside, right there, and you get a free rusher. And that's called a sack. So again, very much game planned. Back down here, so here's the tackle. This D end's supposed to go B gap, but we're going to go butt side. He goes under the running back right there. And again, totally game plan. We knew that's what they did in their full slide when they put that guy up there. All right, here's a good picture here, and this is actually one they complete. That's okay. All right, we're coming from the boundary. This is opposite. So we're going opposite the back. Where was the back? We thought they were an inside zone team, so we wanted to go opposite the zone and bring the pressure there. But remember, when the blitz comes, this guy's on his own. And we know that. That's okay. So we bring the pressure. All right, they do a decent job of picking up. We get a little pressure, but quarterback does good. Gets rid of the ball, throws the ball. Well, we got our safety there to make the tackle. They have a 5-yard gain. So if that's something they do more and more of, you got to be aware of that. And our safety, probably just doesn't have to back up. He should be flat-footing out a little bit, especially into the boundary. The point is, understanding what offenses can do to you, where you can be hurt at when you do things. So that's that. That's our 5-man pressure. It's a great way, easy, inexpensive way to add some pressure to your already good attacking 4-3 defense. Coverage-wise, it's very easy to adapt. You either void a zone, just so that safety knows, or you can very easily play cover 1 as well. So add that to your repertoire, and you can get some very, very easy, cheap pressure to your defense. All right, now we're going to talk about some of our six-man pressures. So we just went over five-man pressures. Something we do, I'd say only maybe 3-4 times a game. Six-man pressures, I'm a big believer in playing our base defense, playing that very aggressively. But then when we do bring pressure, we're going to bring six. I really like bringing six, being aggressive, and yet being very smart about it. And we'll talk about the coverage behind it a little bit later, but for now, six-man pressure. So when you're developing a blitz, again, I talked about before, you don't want to be reckless. You want to be very smart and distinct and careful about what pressure you're bringing, when you're bringing it, and why you're bringing it. All right, so number one, we don't want to blitz from depth, but we do use show and bluff. And show and bluff is basically a couple things. So show is when our linebackers show blitz, and then they pull off. They don't. A bluff would be where they show blitz, and then they would actually blitz from there. Because, again, offenses, they're smart. They study. Hey, every time the linebacker's up on the ball showing blitz or faking blitz, he never comes. So you got to make sure you do both and protect that. All right, second thing, when we blitz, we want to stay gap sound. All right, I'm a very big believer in whether we're bringing 4, 5, 6, 7 even, that we are gap sound. We want to be gapped out inside. We never want to forget our overhangs. And why is that important? So when you go 3-by-1, if you're ever bringing an edge pressure there, we'll actually exchange that into our mic so our edge guy doesn't blitz. We never want to lose those overhangs. So, again, we're going to bring pressure, but you always got to have those overhangs back there. When you blitz, we want to break down protections. Again, we just don't call blitzes. We have very specific reasons why we blitz. We don't just blitz the blitz, right? If we're going to blitz, it's going to be maybe to the back because we're going to blitz the man side of the protection, all right? Or maybe we're going to blitz from this side because we studied their offensive line and their right tackle is just not very good, so we want to overload him. Or maybe their center has a tough time snapping the ball and getting his head up, so we're going to double A gap blitz. Or maybe the quarterback gets spooked, so we're going to blitz up the gut. So whatever the reason is, we're going to be very specific about how we attack protections and how we attack the offense. And then finally, I kind of alluded to already, but we package those. So again, do we want to blitz from the field or the boundary? All right, it could be very simply, it could come in, we want to bring our field pressure. We can bring it from the boundary. Well, why? Well, maybe we want to blitz from the field because they like sprint out pass. Maybe we want to blitz from the boundary because that's the quarterback's blind side. Whatever the reason, we can blitz to the back or away from the back. All right, you like to blitz to the back because, again, a high majority of offenses run a half slide protection. So the running back side is the man side and the other side is the zone side. All right, so we want to blitz the man side of that. It's usually harder to pick up with our movement. We'll get to that in a second. So the first one we have is our double A gap pressure. This is something that I think, Michigan State made famous years back, and this is pretty much the same deal. In disregard to coverage, we'll talk about that a little bit. I'll allude to it, but we'll go into that more when we get to the hot coverage portion. But just looking at the pressure, the pattern. I went up and visited with Don Brown at Michigan a couple years ago, and he had so many blitz patterns. It was crazy. But a blitz pattern is basically just what movement or which way is the defense and the linebackers attacking the quarterback. And I think that's very important to understand because you could probably draw up between 6 guys. I'm not a math major, but probably 400 or 500 different patterns within those 6 guys. All right, so blitz patterns is kind of how we'll refer to it. So a blitz pattern, our double A gap is our Mike and our Bandit, and they are blitzing their respective A gaps. All right, and very simply, our 4-man front, both our tackles are going to short stick into the B gap, and that's that wipe technique we talked about before. All right, and then both of our ends are contained blitzers. Now understand that with our 6-man pressures, our ends are peel players as well. And in a peel, I'll show you in a minute here, is anytime a running back would swing, we would peel and eat. So peel, if he swings, and eat means we're going to chase him. Okay, We're playing hot behind it, but again, we'll get back to that in a second. But very simply, double A-gap pressure, blitzing our A-gaps from our alignments. This is the only pressure that we will run that we will not show. We don't want to get up into the A-gaps because then the offensive line will just pinch down on us. So this is the only one we want to blitz from depth, but we will cheat our alignment up to about 3.5 yards. We want to make sure we get home. This is great on first down. This is great versus zone schemes. This is great versus a quarterback who isn't very courageous. Okay, very, very, very popular blitz that we run a lot of. So this is very simply versus 22 personnel set. They motion across, 1st and 10, and they're just running old school ISO. Good timing by our linebackers. Again, they really didn't time it. They probably got a little antsy there. They must have really had that cadence timed up because I'd rather them come from a static position. But nonetheless, you can see what it does to an offense. They're just trying to run regular ISO, and we get some good penetration. Same thing here. So they crab across. All this is, again, this is a 20 personnel set. These are 3 receivers in a condensed set. That's their fullback. That's their tailback. They're running old school power. But again, we time it up pretty good and get good penetration, albeit we miss a tackle. All right, nonetheless, it's a great run-stopping defense for us. One thing here, and this is actually good to look at. So that wipe technique we talked about back in our stunts and movements, he's wiping. He's coming out to the B gap, and we told you if this tackle blocks down, he's got to wipe that. He's got to get outside of that and come in behind it. You can see here he starts to wipe it. That's where the breakdown is here, right there. He starts to wipe it, but then he allows his tackle to overtake him, and that's right where the ball hits. So if he would have kept wiping right there, see how he gets blocked inside? If he would have kept wiping, he'd be right there to clean it up for the linebacker that missed it. All right, again, double A gap. This is a good picture of it here. All right, double A gap. They're going to blow the A gaps. B and C, B and C. Again, they're running just little trap play inside there. And we get a nice run through. Really good, really, really good by the linebackers holding their water, meaning don't go until the ball's snapped, right? Because those offensive linemen, the minute you creep in, they're going to see that. We want them to not see it. We want them to work their combos, go to the direction they're going, and then we pierce them down the gut. Again, a lot of this you'll see on first down and 10. We love that to stop the run. Next one, again, nothing new here. This is something that's been around for ages, but it's double edge pressure. So both our outside backers blitzing off the edge, both tackles in the A gaps, both ends in the B gaps. Very simple. We like this on short yards. And one thing with this is, again, these guys are both contained blitzers. One thing, our defensive line will not bury themselves. We will read this. If this end's going to the B gap, and if this tackle blocks down, we will allow him to block down. We will go off his butt and play it that way. You'll see some good examples here in a second. So again, double edge. This is looks like tight end, slot with 2 receivers here. All right, so whatever you want to call that formation, we call it slot. We're just coming off the edge. This is 4th down and 1. So let's start at the top. He's going to contain blitz off the edge. He's going to go in that B gap, and you can see that big split there. Well, you better take the B gap, and he does. Good. All right, down the bottom, A, B, C, we're good. Now, the other good thing about this is usually your mic can be pretty free, pretty clean. Here's a good end zone copy of it. All right, good. So tackles down in here. All right, ends in the B gap. Right there. Good fits. And again, you get a nice 4th down stop. All right, down here in the red zone, goal line area. All right, good job by this backer. All right, walking up late, but again, he times it up well, contain. All right, he's coming from this edge, double edge pressure. This is just a simple, looks like inside zone here. And you get a good stop. So again, very gap sound. All right, here's a good picture of it. I believe we actually get an interference call here, but nonetheless, let's look at the pressure. I like the spacing here. Nice and wide. All right, good angles. All right. Coming up top there. All right, that's good by our DN going B gap. Our edge guy going C gap. There is one. We do have one bust here. And if we did it right, we might have gotten the quarterback's face and probably batted this down. Our end here thinks the tackle steps down, so he comes off the edge. But then the tackle blocks out on him. He's got to get in that B gap. And then our edge guy comes free. You'll see here right there, we got two guys in a gap. If this quarterback would have stepped up, this B gap was open. So that's the one thing that you got to coach and make sure you're sound with right there. He's got to get in that B gap, especially if he gets blocked. And the only way you do not get in your gap, if he blocks down, then you better put him in the gap. Okay, so that's one little thing there that, a good coaching point for those guys. And then the last version we have is our two off the edge. And this is America's Zone Blitz. Everybody does it, this blitz pattern. All right, we can bring it from the field, from the boundary, to the back, away from the back, strong side, weak side, crappy linemen, however you want to draw it up. You study however you want. Where do you want to bring the blitz from? And that's what we call, hey, I want to bring America's Zone Blitz to the crappy lineman. They know number 64 is a crappy lineman. Okay, we're going to bring it to the left here. Let's go. So, again, I'm not on the sideline just calling random blitzes. We're very specific in how we want to pressure. All right, so, again, this B, our B words stand for boundary. We're bringing our six-man pressure from the boundary, okay? And, again, just like our five-man, we had words. We used Roger Louie. For our activation words, we use Ringo Loco. All right, Ringo says the blitz is coming from the right. So we signal in our boundary pressure. Our linebackers yell, Ringo, Ringo, Ringo. Then they know our D-line is long sticking now to the other way. All right. Our edge blitzer is our corner. So our rules are, if it's from the boundary, it's our corner, and it's our first linebacker. Our linebacker is key blitzing the tackle. Again, if the tackle blocks out, he goes into B gap. If he blocks down, he goes off his butt. So we get two off the edge that way. All right, let's look at the picture here. A lot of good video. This is probably our second most popular, if not most popular. Now, we will only run this off the hash. This is excellent in high school football because the hashes are so wide, right? So we feel that corner can get there. He can disguise it easily. Probably our top pressure, this or the double A gap one. So, again, we show up here with our bandit. We are long sticking. He's C gap. He's B gap. He's long sticking to the A gap. He's down in this A gap, this B gap, and he's off the edge. Again, very gap sound. Love this verse gap scheme run. We like to bring this, if they're running gap scheme power, we like to bring it from the backside. If they're a gap scheme counter, we like to bring it from the backside because we're getting all down blocks. We like the cross face of those down blocks. So again, very, very just attacking, moving, lots of penetration. And I got some end zone copy here of these next couple clips. So again, boundary, contain, B, A, B, C. Okay, all the way across. Doesn't matter what formation they come in. They can motion ship. We're keeping it on, and we're running it because of the coverage we play behind it. So here's a good picture. Our cornerback comes scot-free. That's good. Forced to throw. We're playing hot coverage behind it, which we'll get into later. But nonetheless, it's very safe for us. All right, bringing six. We're bringing a corner blitz. I think if you ask the random football fan, they would think it's very risky, but it's not at all. We're extremely sound in the run fits, and we feel our scheme in the back end is pretty safe as well. Here it is again, coming from the boundary. So up top, very easily disguised. They don't know if this is press or what he's doing. He's going to come off the edge, contain, plug, long stick, C gap. Motion doesn't matter to us. All right, they're running a little motion, just looks like there goes power. This is exactly how we want it. So they're running power down here. So boom, there's our kick out. He's got to same arm that, contain the ball. Number 22 is running our wipe. So if you remember back, he's getting down blocked by this tackle. He's going B gap. If he feels that, he's going to wipe around it. Right there. That's really good because he knows his nose is coming across to this A gap. This end's coming to this A gap. And then in this picture here, it works out perfect. We get two off the edge, and more times than not, that bandit runs it down from behind just like he does here. So again, really, really good, really great versus the run. And then if they would have ran play action here and the quarterback pulled it, then this contained blitzer is high shoulder player. He's gonna, always respect that if the quarterback would pull it. All right, next one, boundary under, same thing. We haven't done much of this recent years, but same thing. He blitz an under call. It's the same exact deal, except the word under tells the defensive end he's the contained player. Now he's going B gap inside of it. That's the only difference. All right, next one, flame, field. So those are boundary blitz. Now we want to blitz from the field. It's the same exact blitz pattern, except it's activated to the field. All right, we want, for whatever reason, we want to blitz from the field. In this picture here, the field is to the left. So they say loco. Ring goes to the right, loco's to the left. All that's talking to is a defensive lineman. That tells them which way to go. They don't care what the blitz is. They don't care what the pattern is. They know in loco, we're long sticking from the left to the right. All right. Our rules stick the same. It's the first two backers, so the Falcons contain. The mic is the plug. All right, and they got to know that. Who's contain, who's plug. Contain, nothing outside of you. Plug is you're underneath everything. All right, got some good pictures of that. So we're coming from the field. So it's going to be the Falcon contain. The mic's going to wrap and run C-gap plug or B-gap plug. So again, a decent disguise. Again, we love this versus the run. You notice the movement there, right there. It sets a big wall here. Sets a big wall because we're all moving. This guy's going to be forced to cut back right into our two blitzers. Same thing, field under, which we actually like more. Same exact deal, except under, the word under always talks to our defensive ends. They're contained. Now both of our blitzers become plug blitzers, and they go in respective A and B gaps themselves. Again, we're always gapped out. ABC, ABC. Here's a good picture here coming from the field. Where's the field? It's out here. Under, that means he's wide, he's B gap, he's blitzing the tackle. We say B gap, but if that tackle blocks out, he's B gap. If that tackle blocks down, now we got two off the edge again. All right, Mike's in the A gap. It's a good picture right there. Look at that Falcon. He's keep blitzing the tackle. Tackle blocks down. Well, he's technically supposed to go into B gap, but he's not going to bury himself. He's going to go right off his butt and should have the sack. Nonetheless, causes some pressure, throws the ball away. Here's a good picture here. Right now, our end, C gap. He's running his white to the B. Our nose is coming across to the A. This Mike's blitzing, keep blitzing the guard. He's blitzing A. Our Falcon out here is keep blitzing this tackle. He's blitzing B. He goes down. He's off his butt. So at the end of the day, boom, there's our nice distribution. C, B, A, B, and C, who you can't see out there. All that matters, we're going to have that same movement wherever we go. Always got to be sound. Nothing worse than blitzing and not being sound with it. Here it is again. This is actually versus a wing T team. They're trying to run, I believe, like one of the, Sally reverse crisscross plays. They're trying to hit him back on the wing through. All right, so we schemed this up. We're going with our pressure here from the field. We got both these backers going under. Same one we just did, our field under. All right, America's Zone Blitz. And we actually paired this up with a show on the backside. Again, he's not involved in the pressure. But you see we get a run through, just again, based on the scheme, based on what we saw. 54 here, our DNs are contained players. So if they pitch it, he'd play that. You get a nice run through, cause a turnover, and get the ball. All right, one more of that. So same picture, critical situation. This is 4th down and 5. So we're running our field pressure right here. So C, B, A. He's contained. A and B gaps respectively. And we're playing our hot coverage, our eyes coverage on the goal line. Again, get a nice run through, guy unblocked. They release the back. We're bringing 6. They only got 5. Remember back what I said, when we bring 6, we have peel rules. So if this guy swings, he's going to take them. This guy does a great job of doing that right there. That's our peel. All right, and then the last couple again. We can bring same blitz, same thing. This is just to the back. So we're going to wait till they break the huddle. We're going to wait till they get up there and present us what they got. Where's the running back? Oh, he's over here. All right, we're going to activate it from the right. All right, so it's Ringo, Ringo, Ringo. Follow your rules. The ball's on the hash, it's the corner and the backer. If the ball's to the field, it's the two backers, period. Those are the rules. Kids know them. Let's go. Let's look at this first video. To the back. All right, where's the back at? When we talk back, it's the tailback. So the tailback is right here. So that's to the left. So that's loco, loco, loco. All right, that should be corner. All right, and then this backer's going to walk up and come. The line's all sliding this way. So here you go. There's the backer. Oh, they actually checked it off. Okay, so they're going, for whatever reason, okay, this is pro hashes. So this is Heinz Field. This is our district championship. Here's the hash. The ball's inside the hash. So we have a rule. If it's not on the hash, then it goes to these two backers. So our bandit becomes contained, and our mic becomes the plug. Nonetheless, it's the same blitz pattern. We don't quite get home here, but we're causing crazy pressure on them. Again, safe. They only release one guy, and we make them throw it up and almost a pick. All right, same thing. Now we're doing the same deal. We're blitzing to the back. We're playing cover one behind it. So man free, man there. All right, he's free, and we got peel rules. So whoever the edge blitzer is there, and our DN here, they have peel rules. There it again. They're running a little bit quarterback. I don't know if this is quarterback counter or quarterback sweep. We're slanting right into that. It's going to cause him to stop right back into our blitzers. Big TFL, -4. All right, and then you can go under, to the back, under. Again, different blitz pattern, no different for us. All the defensive line here is Ringo or loco under. They've heard that 45 times already. So to the back, under. Under tells him to stay wide. We're slanting this way. Both backers, A and B gap. Again, playing cover one behind it. Cover one behind it. There you go. All right, we're man, man, man. He's free, man. We'll get into that during our cover one tape. Another one here. Same deal. Where's the back? To the back, under. Here's the back. Ringo under. Contain, slant, slant, slant. A and B gap. Playing cover one again. They had a real tough time picking this up. So again, study their protections. How do they block, and draw up what's going to beat that. Same thing here. This is to the back, under. Here's the back. So it's loco under. The ends contain. Linebackers are inside. They're running a little zone read here. Quarterback pulled it. Looks like a tackle wrap, actually. The quarterback read. Probably should have gave the ball there, but again, pressure causes kids to do things they normally wouldn't do. Here's the end zone of it. Coming from the left here. And then last one, this is opposite the back. So why do you want to blitz opposite the back? You know, run game, inside zone, whatever it is. Same pattern we've been doing, just opposite the back. So here's the back here. We're coming from this side. So it's a Ringo, all right, double guys off the edge. Why we did this? Because you can see level 3 back. The back's in front of the quarterback. What do they do when they do it? They're either throwing the ball, or this game here is a heavy quarterback run. So they're going to run quarterback sweep or power. I don't remember what it is. Maybe it's quarterback counter. So we're slanting our whole line into the counter because we're going to get down blocks here. All right, we like that. And we get 2 off the edge on this side. You can see there's nowhere to go. All right. So again, a lot of game plan, and we can go based on the personnel we see. What personnel are they in? In the last one, same thing. Opposite the back, under. All right, where's the back? Here he is. So we're going to come this way. He's contained. We got both these linebackers, A and B gap. And again, here's a good picture. We didn't come free. They did a good job of picking it up, or at least slowing us down. But you force the quarterback, throw off his back foot, and we get an interception off of it. So again, we didn't get a sack, didn't quite get home, but you cause that kid to make a quick decision and get rid of the ball. Here's a good end zone copy of it. So the blitz pattern, A, B, C, A, B, C. And again, these guys are reading it. We're not just going to bury ourselves in gaps. If they're down, we're going to go off their butt. Really good. So that's our 6-man pressures. Again, very critical to what we do, to the success we've had on defense. We'll get into it later about the coverage we can play behind it. But, again, I'm a big believer in bringing pressure to the offense and making them react to you. All right, now we're going to talk about is our simulated pressures. And in the world of football nowadays, these are called sims. Very popular. Last year were all the rage. We've been doing them now for about 5 years. Been a big addition to our defense, especially on third down. Really to kind of, again, you want to have the chalk last. You want to force the game, not let the offense, take it to you. So what are sim pressures exactly? You simulate bringing 5, 6, or 7 guys, but you're only bringing 4. All right, so whether those guys are milling around, whether you're showing 5, 6, and 7 up to the line of scrimmage, but you're at the end of the day, you're only going to bring 4. What's this do for you? This stresses the protection, right? So whether you're showing 5 or 6 or 7, whatever way you're doing it, they have to figure out a way to protect that, whether they're going to keep 7 in, keep 6 in. You can force them to max protect. You can force them to slide a certain way that you want them to. You can dictate the slide and come from the other way. And you don't necessarily have to overload the pressure. You're still only bringing 4. Okay, sim pressure, hence the word simulate. We're simulating pressure, but we're really not bringing it. Okay, it's faking it. We like to do this on obvious passing downs, okay, because we do have guys at the line of scrimmage, and they could be out of position to do normal things. But we're still sound in what we do. We still have gaps covered. We do this to attack protection. So, we're going to simulate pressures to influence protections to go one way, and then maybe we come the other, etc. We can run this from all fronts, our 4-man front, our 3-man front, our bluff front, which is our 404 front. And then this is where you kind of get exotic, right? You can overload 6 and 1 or 5 and 2 or 4 and 3 or however you want to do it. It's up to you. Be creative, be exotic. I'll show you what we've done and had success with. But again, up to you. Overload one side and bring from the other, which I kind of talked about. You get one-on-ones usually, right? Because you're manned up across. Depending on who you bring, they're going to assign guys that don't even blitz. If you're doing it right, and you're going to get one-on-ones with their offensive people. You can force their running back in protection. If they send them out, well, then they're taking a chance there, because with the sims, yeah, we're dropping out, but then there's got to be times where you do pressure them, where you actually show as well and come, and that'll help protect those sims. All right. Your coverage isn't compromised. You have a full catalog. You can play your base coverage that you feel comfortable with. You play 1, 2, quarters, whatever it is, and then you can run this from other than an even from. We'll run it from our even from, but we'll also run it from our 505 and our 404 fronts and our third down packages. All right, first one's our 404 or the bear front. So what's a bear front? A bear front is basically we're covering up all guys. We got 5 D linemen or D lineman bodies. We will actually sub in 2 linebackers on the edge, and we'll move our guys down to a nose with 2 4 eyes. And the first one I'm going to show you here, this is one we've run a lot in the past. It's our bluff 1. We call it bluff rat 1. So basically what we do, we insert it. We call him a 3. He's just our 3 technique person, but he's definitely a linebacker. All right. Our nose goes one way. We usually send the nose to the back. The 3 goes opposite A to the other back. Okay. Because in this picture here, let me not get ahead of myself. We're showing 5-man. So in a perfect world, this offensive line, it's got to block Bob, big on big. All right, 5 on 5. So right here, we're all showing they're 5 on 5. All right, if they don't do that with this running back, then they're probably going to full slide and put the running back on the edge and slide everybody else the other way. So whatever they do, usually it's big on big. But either way, so we're going to go A gap. All right, so we'll say they're big on big. He's going to take him. All right. This guy's going to be stepping out to him. So when he rushes, B gap contain, this guy's going to come free more times than not. I mean, I guess the running back could step up and block him, but good luck with that. You have a linebacker bursting through the A gap. That's going to be a big time collision in his face. Over here, all right, this guard's going to block out and block him. That's fine. This tackle's going to block air, and then this tackle's going to block air because this guy, both these outside guys are playing man, okay, on the running back. If the running back stays in, they both becomes rats. All right, if he would swing, then the backer to the respective side got him, and the other guy's the rat. Okay, if he would come across and go this way, this backer would have him, and this guy becomes the rat. So if you look at it, it's only a 4-man rush. Okay, that's our bluff 1 rat. We're playing cover 1 everywhere else, and we'll talk about cover 1 in the cover 1 tape, but just showing you the pattern of the sim. We're simulating bringing 5. We're only bringing 4. Okay. Here's a good picture of it. So again, 5-man front. All right. This guy's in the rush. This guy's in the rush. These two are tangoing. We call it tango the back. Now the back's on this side, so he's likely going to go this way. So he's likely to have him. This guy's likely going to become the rat. So it worked out perfect. This guy actually stepped up the block. So we tell our guy after he steps, then he can trace and come back in and rush inside, which he does. But you notice the pressure. The pressure's on him right now. Boom. We have our backer. We send our nose to the side. This backer's coming unblocked. Worked out exactly how we draw it up. This tackle out here is blocking air. Nobody to block. We're on a cover 1, our catch technique, plus we got our rat underneath it, plus we got our safety on top. Really, really good stuff here. Next one. Same look, same clip. All right. The back's here. He steps up the block. I believe this is like sprint out. So if he blocks, he has him. He's gonna hug up. He's going to A gap. He's going to become the rat. Everywhere else, we're playing cover 1. Again, we brought 4, and we're getting just 3 guys basically running through because we broke down the protection. Playing cover 1 behind it, and we force a throw off his back foot, and I like our chances there. Good end zone copy of the rush. The only thing you got to worry about is the defensive end. So we're going from a 4-eye here. He goes here. He goes. He's going to go B gap, and then we want to contain through the B gap. If this tackle ends up reading and falling back, then we got a cop, contain on pass. There we go. That's a good by 54 down here. So he goes to rush. This tackle does a good job of setting. Instead of rushing in a B gap, we need to contain on pass. We call that cop. One more here. So again, we're cover 1. Cover 1, they're 2 by 2. Manned up everywhere. All right, they throw and catch it, but it's 3rd and 6. We tackle them below the sticks. Look at the end zone, see the pressure. So again, we only brought 4. So if we don't get home, I'm okay with it because we're playing whatever safe coverage on the back end that we like. If we get pressure, it's bonus. All right. All right, another version. Same exact deal. Bluff. Rock is a rock stunt. So he's going to cross face. He's going to cross face. So we're going, reading the guard, going A or B. All right, reading the guard, going A or A. And he's looping around. These 2 edge guys are doing the same exact thing they were doing before. All right, they're hug rushing on the back if he's on their side. If he's not, then we become I'm sorry, check that. The guy to the side of the back has him. The one to the opposite side goes. All right, that's our 2 because we're playing 2-man behind it. All right, the other version, we have roll. Same thing. Roll is to the left. All right, short stick. He's wrapping here. All right, whoever has the side of the back, he has a man-to-man. The other guy's goes. We're playing cover 2-man behind it. Now, you could play 1, like I said, and those guys would share them, and now you have an extra guy here, but this is kind of how we do it. All right, another version is bluff rat, 2-man. Okay, so a similar thing. We're playing 2-man behind it. great third down and medium, third down and long coverage. We like that. Nose goes opposite the back. All right, and the back are not in man wraps now. So we're here, we're here, we're here. Same thing. The backer to the side has them. The opposite ones wrapping inside. All right. Pretty cool there. And then one bluff switch two. So again, I said we're always showing it. In this, we're always showing these guys dropping out, right? Now we got to be able to bring them. So we bring them. The inside pass stays the same. We're still only bringing 4 guys. But now our 2-4 eyes here are going to drop out, and they're going to be our inside hook defenders in cover 2. Okay? We tell them they got to go up and tickle the tackle, drop out, tickle the tackle, drop out. And I got some good footage of that. So again, our edge guys are coming, our 2-4 eyes are dropping out. We're just playing cover 2 behind it. Now this is good here. They ran the ball. So we always tell them that's why we tickle the tackles. We go to tickle the tackle and they're running the ball. Well, we don't want to bail out. We need to maintain our gap integrity there. That's kind of what happens here with our 4-eye in the orange shirt here. He goes to tickle the tackle. He feels a reach. Well, he continues on. But our edge guy is unblocked. So again, 3rd and 5, good way to get off the field. Another one here, good picture, 3-by-1. So again, 5-5, 5-0. All right, he's coming A, he's going A. Tickle the tackle, drop, tickle the tackle, drop, and we're bringing it off the edge. No big deal, it's cover 2. Playing cover 2 behind it, right there. Flat. All right, he's curl, he's hook, he's curl, he's flat. Nice, safe call. 3rd down and 10. Cheek pressure. Get off the field. Here it is down. We got them backed up. 2 edge guys. All right, dropping our 4 eyes out. Getting some nice A-gap pressure with those 2. Again, they ran the ball. Great job by 54. Tickle the tackle. They running the ball. Stay there. Dude off the edge is unblocked. Actually, he's blocked, but does a good job taking on the block, containing it, and we get a nice run through with our A-gap linebacker. We get a safety. All right. Same deal. So this is similar to that first one. Instead of bluff 1, rat, we're going to play bluff 2. So same deal. We're showing pressure, but now they drop out, and we're bringing our same deal up the center. All right. So those 2, they just change responsibilities, change who has those rules. We're just playing base cover 2 behind it. All right, we like this on 3rd and 8+. All right, base cover 2 behind it. They run a little tunnel screen, get a TFL. All right, same deal here. 2nd and 25, long yards. All right, dropping out. Curl, hook. All right, hook to curl. He's in the flat. They run the ball. That's okay. They're allowed to run it. Good job by our linebacker here. He's going to tickle the tackle to drop out, but he sees run. So he maintains. He becomes a quarterback player in the speed option, or the zone read pitch, I should say. Then we got our curl player here, and then we got our corner showing up on the outside. All right. Now some sim pressures out of our Okie front, our 505. Okay, 505. All right, so right here we're actually shifted over. We got a nose. All right, we got a tackle. We have our end, and we have actually our 2 backers here. Now you could change around personnel, put whoever you want where. So what we're doing here, again, we're simulating bringing a bunch, but we're only going to bring 4. Now our blitz pattern here, all right, is up. I believe he's going to work for contain, and he's going to work through. So again, we're really showing pressure, but he sees these quarterbacks see these 2 linebackers coming off the edge. He talks to his tailback and says, "No, come over here, pick them up." And neither of these 2 drop. They both drop out, and we're playing our base quarters coverage that we love and play every single day. And you can see they set 2 dudes free here. All right. So again, this is our deal here. We got a 0, we got a 3, we got a 5, we got a 3, all right, and a 5 there. So still out of the bear front, but nonetheless, we're dropping these 2 edge guys out. He's going to work contain, work all the way over, stare, step out. All right, he's up and under, and that's our pattern. You can draw it up however you like, but long story short, end of the day, we're only bringing 4. Same thing here. We have our 2 linebackers nice and wide, showing edge pressure. All right, run the same pattern. Again, 3rd down and 30. We're playing the base coverage behind it we like. We get some cheap pressure, but again, we're only bringing 4. Another one here, same pattern. All right, they see these edge guys. They walk the running back over here. We only bring 4. You see we get 2 free rushers, cause the quarterback to flee and throw the ball out here to the flat. So, again, it's just manipulating what they do, showing pressure from one side, bringing it from the other. But at the end of the day, it's very safe. We're only bringing 4 guys playing whatever your coverage is. We play quarters behind it. We could play 1. We could play 2 in long yards. Here's 3rd down and 20. 3-by-1. We're playing our 3-by-1 variation out here. All right, our cover 3, which we'll get into later. All right, these 2 edge guys showing pressure. They're going to drop out. He's going to wall 3. He's going to wall 2. Again, only bringing 4 guys. They run a screen. And we got an unblocked defender there. All right, ready to make a play. And again, notice the pressure. We got 2, 3 guys. I know it was a screen, but guys running free in the backfield. Same deal here. We're showing down here, right? Standing up, showing, bringing 4 from down here. Again, another screen, but we feel very comfortable with the coverage we're playing behind it. Even if they completed that, we're in good shape to tackle them and get off the field on 3rd and 12. All right, then the last one, we actually run this from our even front, but we mug up our 2 linebackers. So we have our 2 5s. We move them to 2-3 techniques, and we take both backers and put them up in the A-gap. All right, so basically what this is, we call it whiskey. We're playing cover 1 behind it. Basically, those 2 backers, whichever way the running back goes, the linebacker to that side, we'll have them. We're both reading the center. If he steps to me, I drop off. If he steps away from me, then I go. So it's just another variation. We don't do it too much, but it's a nice little change-up that I know is very popular in college football. And again, in this look here, we got 6 guys showing. They only got 5 here. Our 1 guy's set free, causes the quarterback to throw it early. And we have good presence out here and make a nice TFL. So, again, those are sim pressures. The whole point of those, you could draw up what you like, show a bunch, but only bring 4. And, again, 3rd down and long, I'm not as worried about being gap sound, just so you understand what you're doing on the back end. But you can get as exotic as you like. And then on the back end, you can be as safe as you need to be as far as coverage goes. All right, so we're going to talk about sim pressure. This is by far my favorite one. We categorize it. It's in our casino package, so we call it Trump, actually. And kids love it. Again, sim pressure, we're simulating more than we're bringing. We're simulating 5, 6, 7. In this case here, we're simulating 5. Sometimes we'll have our 3 walked up into one of those guys. We're simulating like we're bringing a lot, but we're only going to bring 4. Now, in this picture here, also you can see the distribution that we have here. We have our end, our tackle, our nose, and our 3 technique, which is the linebacker back here. We have our 2 backers here, and they're real wide. We have a real wide, almost a 4-eye, and then we have a wide 5 out here. And that really gets attention of the offense, and oftentimes we get them to slide the protection that way. Now, the great thing about it on the back end, you could play whatever you want. You could play your quarters. You could play 3 deep, 2 deep, whatever you want to play back there. It's safe because you're only bringing 4. All right, the key is, though, neither one of these guys are rushing. They're both dropping out. The way we do it, we're going to play our skate coverage to the field here, and we're going to just play first 3-by-1 and play normal on the backside. We're solo, and we're ready to go. So we're showing pressure. We're going to make sure we're really selling that we're going. He's going to step, and he's going to come back, and he's going to be his normal wall 3 player in the defense. The bandit is always a wall 2 player anyway. He's normally lined up right here. He's just on the ball. So we're going to tickle the tackle, show pressure, and drop out. And he's, again, a wall 2 player, okay, on the backside. All right, we're soloed up there. Again, he's a wall 2 player, and we're playing our normal skate coverage over here. Now to the field, right here, our nose is going to do a wee stair step and contain on pass. He's going to work to contain. Again, we're under the understanding that these guys are going to open like this because we're so wide. So he's just going to work to contain. All right, our tackle is going to go up and under. All right, our end's going to rush, contain there, and then our linebacker here, our 3, is going to work through the B gap there. So again, it's almost 4 to a side, except our nose is going to work stair step over there. More times than not, we get them to turn their protection that way, and then we get 4 on 3 over here. And it's been great for us. Again, coverage-wise, you got to see what fits. Some things work versus 3x1, certain work versus 2x2, or we like better, I should say. But a very easy way to manipulate an offense's protection, get a really, really good rush, and then get off the field on 3rd down. All right, we're going to talk about replacement pressures now in the 4-3 system, and these are something that's been at least newer in recent years. I think defensively, a lot of the professional coaches have been running them. They're popping up in college game now, but something at the high school level that we think are pretty unique to what we do. What are they exactly? I mean, a replacement pressure. So they're a 4-man rush that is able to attack a protection or a scheme by overloading a player or a side, okay? But you're only bringing 4. So by only bringing 4, the coverage isn't compromised like traditional fire zones. A couple key things with replacement pressures. These are also known as creepers. You drop a known rusher, so this is a defensive end, a defensive tackle, on the line of scrimmage, and then you bring an unknown rusher. And that's pretty much the deal behind it. That's hence the word creeper, or hence the word replace. So a DN might drop and a linebacker comes. So that's the deal there. What are some benefits of these? Also known as creepers, like I said, you don't have to sacrifice your coverage for rush. A really nice way to create cheap pressure. I love these on 2nd and long, 2nd and medium, 3rd down and medium. You can play a traditional coverage behind it, and more times than not, you have a free rusher because the offensive line set the protection. The guy that usually blitzes, the unknown rusher, is usually not accounted for in the protection, and the guy that drops out is usually not accounted for in the coverage. All right, you can run on base downs, run or pass. There's minimal new learning with familiar coverage, and then the presentation of the coverage looks dramatically different for a quarterback. So, how we categorize ours, and in this package, we call it the opposite of our hot. This is our cold coverage, so disregard that. We'll get into that later, but we basically have 2 versions, a boundary version and a field version. The boundary version we call blizzard. Blizzard's a cold word, so B for boundary. We come from the boundary. And just like our 6-man pressures, we have to activate it. So we activate it with our Ringo and Loco word. So it's coming from the boundary. In this picture here, that's from the right. So we would say Ringo. All right, everybody does exactly what they do. All right, long stick, long stick, long stick. Now, the only difference is we add the word rat. And the rat tells the defensive end, opposite the call, that he drops out and becomes the rat in the hole. Everybody else is the same. We're playing our cold coverage behind it. Our cold coverage, all right, they learn is both safeties are half-field players. All right, our field corner is playing the flat. Our Falcon is a cut 2 player. So what does that mean? Is the number 2 receiver, he's cutting 2. He's going to take away anything inside, and he's going to wall any 2 vertical. Obviously, if he would go out, then he's not going to chase that because more times than not, he's going to come in, and that'll become his new 2. All right, our Mike is a cut 3 player here. So if 3 is vertical, he's going to wall and run with that. If 3 comes underneath, well, he's not letting him. He's going to wall that off and negate that under route. All right, our rat here, all right, he's going to step, and he's going to become the rat. Now, what does the rat do? He's looking for crossers, number 1. He's looking for the quarterback to step up and scramble, number 2. And number 3, if they run the ball and it would spit, he's our extra hat in the run. He's able to fit off of that. Our bandit on the backside showing pressure, and he's going to come back here and play the flat to the side of the call. So boundary is doing exactly that. I have some good clips of that. So here we go. Verse empty. They're actually going to motion back to a 3-by-1 set. We're bringing. So right now we have an unknown rusher right there. That's our unknown rusher. He's going to be scot-free. Run or pass, doesn't matter. All right. Long stick, long stick, long stick. Here's our rat. So technically, he's going to step just like in the simulated pressures. He's going to do what we call tickle the tackle. If they run the ball, well, then he's going to continue. If it's pass, well, he's going to drop out and become the rat. So you can see in this picture here, he does a poor job. They're running the ball at him. He's getting reach. He should have continued. But nonetheless, again, these are high school kids, don't always do it right. We're playing cover 2. All right, out here, we got our hook defender, our curl defender, and our flat defender. They're ready to fit up on 2nd down and 7 for a -2 play. So, again, very safe. If they would end up throwing the ball, if they would end up, the quarterback would end up pulling this, then I feel pretty good about our unblocked corner coming here and getting involved in on the play. All right, another picture of that. Same game, coming from the boundary. So, again, here's our rat. He's going to drop off. All right, those two are front side. These two are back side. So we got nice, easy, even distribution. All right, here comes our unknown rusher. Luckily for them, the running back saw him late and pulled off. But nonetheless, doing that spooks the quarterback. Now you got the quarterback on the edge. He's off his mark. All right, this guy's got to maintain, contain. And again, behind it, we're playing pure cover 2. Then we force an errant throw on 2nd down and 10. So again, we're only bringing 4. We're playing a safe coverage behind it. We're going to get cheap pressure, and you force the issue to the offense. Same thing. Boundary, cold. So we're coming for the boundary. All right, here's our rat. He's going to drop off. All right, he's going to work cop, contain. He's going to work front side A gap, and he's going to work his read the guard and go A or B gap depending. Good there. Really good picture here. Really, really good. So good job by the D-line. Good job by 54. Tickle the tackle. You're the rat. All right, good. They throw a quick game back here. They saw the corner blitzing. You'll see this a lot. Offense has coached it. You see the corner blitz? Well, stop. We'll throw you the ball. All right, he's buzzing out to the flat. He's our deep half player. That's fine. 1st and 10. Let's go tackle him. 1 to 2 yard gain. I like it. 2nd and 10. Good end zone copy of it. So tickle the tackle, rat, cop, A gap there, and then we got our edge guy right there. So again, bring an unknown rusher, drop a known rusher. That's what it's all about. Creepers or replacement pressures. All right, same one here, coming from the boundary, and this is actually, we make a little bit of a mistake, but that's okay. It's a good teach. All right, we're going this way. All right, he's going to come to the flat. All right, he's our rat. All right, he's our 2. He's our 3, half field. They actually run counter option here. So in this picture right here, coming off the edge, there's our dive player. All right. This guy would be our quarterback player, and he knows he's contained. So in this picture here, he should have the running back. He sucks down to the quarterback. We should be here, and we'd have been in perfect shape. Nonetheless, we're still playing cover 2 behind it. It's not the end of the world, but it's good. It was a good teach tape, again, to teach our guys, because this is a little bit of an untraditional set they ran, this counter option back. So it was really good teach tape for us. But again, whoever that pressure guy is, whether it's the corner in this instance or the Falcon from the field, he's a contain rusher. Contain rusher. So right here, he's got to be as wide as the widest. He should be coming outfield short of the quarterback. He sees pitch man. He's going to peel off to that, and he'll let his 2 linebackers fit inside. Another one. So, again, we're in an Okie front. All right, 3rd down and long. We're going to bring pressure here. Same deal. Drop out, play the flat. We have our cut 2, cut 3, and then we should have our rat from the field. There we go. Good picture there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under, 2 deep. Now, the only bad thing is our flat defender got kind of picked here. He's got to kind of avoid that right there because our cut 2 player is right here. He's going to cut 2. All right, completion, though, short of the sticks. All right, and then the last one we have, this is our field version. Same thing, same blitz pattern, except we're coming with the Falcon from the field. All right, he's going to come contain, same pattern. All right, end to the other side is going to rat. All right, he's cut 2, he's cut 3. Both corners are playing the flat here. Both safeties are playing the half. All right, very easy to teach. Again, what word do we use? It's a field blitz. When this picture is coming from the right, so we say Ringo, rat. Rat tells him to drop out. Ringo says the blitz is coming from the right. Okay? So here we go. Bring our unknown rusher. He's out here, apex, and he's coming. He doesn't show it. We'll see even in this deal here. This is outside zone. He's unaccounted for in the run scheme, and he gets a nice TFL for -1. Good picture here of our DN. He could have been another step to tickle the tackle, but as they run the ball, he comes through. He's an extra hat in the run fit. Good end zone copy here. So we should have here. I'm sorry. We should have here, cross face here, there, and then off the edge. Good movement right there. Really good buy. Really, really good buy. 22 here. Step, vertical. Boom. Penetrate. Good TFL. Another version here. I'm sorry, the same version. All right, this is good. Good picture. We're only bringing 4. He's unblocked. They're running zone read, bubble. Great. They got the ball in the perimeter. We're playing cover 2. So we got, all right, our backer and our corner sitting out here with great leverage to make the play, make the stop. Again, very safe. If this would have been play action pass, I think we'd had a sack. They would have ran the ball. We were in good shape. You know, this is, again, what offenses do to you. We're very sound out there. We're playing cover 2, trap corner out there, able to react up to it. All right, one more here. Coming from the field again. So our unknown rusher's here. All right, he's going to be our rat. They're running the screen to the boundary. Anything I'd like, our corner here playing 2. He's got to have his eyes more looking for his 2, who's the running back here. He's got to be able to react up a little quicker. He don't need to be that high on that receiver because he's got a safety over the top. But again, it's all timing when you call things. If they would have threw the ball, I think we would have been in good shape there. All right, last couple here. More replacements. So these are built off of coming our 6-man pressures. So instead of bringing 6, we're going to show our 6-man. We're going to bring our double edge, and then we're going to drop out, all right, inside guys. All right, so we're going to end up still bringing 4. We're going to drop out our 2 tackles. When is this good? Why would you like to do this? I love this on possible screen downs. Again, we're going to bring pressure or drop out our 2 big heavies. They love it. Our defensive line gets excited about it. We're still going to play 2 behind it or whatever coverage you want. We play 2 mostly, but you know we have played 0 before. We played different things. We've played 1, but point is right here. So we have 4 edge. Both these tackles are going to drop out. All right, he's B gap. He's on the edge. There you go. These guys love it. Looking to read screen on the side that they're on. All right, I think we were thinking here 2nd and long. They did some screens here back underneath this. So that was the reason behind it. But again, free runners. We're showing 6-man. They only got 5-man protection. Somebody's coming free. They set our linebacker free. And at the end of the day, we only rushed 4. So I think that's a win for us. Again, coverage-wise behind it, we've played 2. We've played 0. We've played 1. You play whatever you want. Just got to make sure it's sound. Here's another picture. Same thing. All right, edge, B gap, edge. Both tackles dropping out. Again, 3rd down and 19. They try to throw the ball down the field. But again, they're in deep trouble here because they're only 5-man protection. And they set our linebacker free, caused him to throw the ball earlier than he wanted. And we get an incompletion. Kid almost made a nice catch on that. But nonetheless, again, you play whatever coverage you want. We could have easily played cover 2 here. But again, we get off the field. Similar deal here now. So we're going to bring our double A gap pressure with our two backers. All right, our two ends are going to go again, contain, but we're going to drop our two tackles now. So the same deal, but instead of double edge pressure, we're bringing double A gap pressure with the tackles dropping. And again, we just give it a punch call, and that's alerting these tackles to drop out. And again, I love this on long yards, screen situations. Now, this is out of our three-man front, but again, we're bringing unknown rushers and we're dropping known rushers. So we're dropping tackles and we're bringing guys who traditionally wouldn't rush. So again, cheap pressure, throw the ball, and we feel pretty safe about it to get off the field. Here's a good one here. So again, I believe this is that tunnel screen I was telling you about. They're trying to run a tunnel back in. We blast the A gaps here. I'm sorry, this is double edge. We're going double edge, but both our tackles drop out. Right there, ready to play the screen. And there it is. That's a big, heavy three technique who actually fell off them, but could have had a nice tackle there. But nonetheless, 3rd and 10, playing the play, we get off the field. Again, just screwing with offenses. They're going to be very distinct in what they do and how they protect. You want to bring unknown rushers, and you're going to drop known rushers. Just a nice little bonus, a nice addition to add to your package. With all these spread offenses now, being able to be versatile and do some different things, I think is very advantageous. It's something you need to have in your defensive repertoire. All right, so we're going to talk about some of our replacement pressures or our creepers. Again, we two versions, the field and boundary. This is the field version. So again, the whole key here is whoever's pressuring this Falcon out here, that he does not give it away. He wants to do it from his normal alignment. You want to bring an unknown rusher and drop a known rusher. So our known rusher we're dropping is this end, and our unknown rusher we're bringing is that Falcon. So very simply, he's our contained blitzer off this edge. We love these on 2nd and long and kind of passing downs. They're great versus rundowns. They're good on 1st down because you're going to get a free rusher more times than not. All right. We are then using our same terminology that we use in our 6-man protection, our 6-man blitzes. So we go Ringo, Rat. Rat tells this guy that he's going to drop to the middle. All right. Our Rat always drops to the middle of the field. All right. Ringo tells these guys they are long sticking away from the call. So there's our 4-man distribution right there. And then behind it, we're just going to play cover 2, trap coverage back here. So this, there we go. This corner's down, playing the flat. All right, he disguising, looks just like our skate coverage. All right, this Mike, if it's 3-by-1, he'd probably be plussed out more. And this Bandit would probably be more on the ball because he's now a wall 2. He's got a wall 3 to the field. All right, he's playing the flat over here. And then we have 2 half-field defenders there. Okay, a couple things here. Again, this guy can be really quick to trigger because a lot of times when if they are, say, the backs on the other side, and they go zone read, and he goes to pull the ball to throw bubble because the blitz coming, that's a big answer for offenses. If they get field pressure, they're going to pull it and throw it out there where you left from. They're going to replace your pressure. So they'll go to throw it out there. This corner can be quick to trigger right now and get a TFL. Okay, that's one good coaching point. Again, whatever their jobs are, if he's got a wall 2, he's got to widen out pre-snap to be able to get there. Backside here, again, we're going to play just kind of a trap corner back here, cover 2. He's over the top. This Rat, a couple things with the Rat. Number 1, say the back was there and they run the ball. They can still run the ball. Well, he's going to go, again, what we call tickle the tackle. If the tackle goes to reach, then he's going to maintain his gap and he's going to play the run. We're not going to bail out when they run the ball. Number 2, say it is pass, right? It's pass. He goes to tickle the tackle. They pass set. He reads pass. Well, he's going to come back here and be the Rat. He's looking for first cutter. Heck, when the pressure comes, this quarterback's likely to step up and run. He's there. He's your extra hat there. And then finally, say the back's here and they run this way. When he goes to tickle the tackle and say they run that way, now he can come back through the ball and play back through and, again, be an extra hat in the run game there. Been really good for us. It was very high percentage, I think 88% of the time. We were successful with this last year. Where we weren't successful, it was based on the coverage. It was the cover two and, the middle of the field and just doing a better coaching that up. But as far as getting pressure on the quarterback and serving the purpose, it did that for us. And we really, really want to build on this field pressure. All right, we're going to talk about hot coverage here today in the 4-3 system. This is probably one of the better coverages that we run, other than our base quarters, obviously, which is the most prevalent coverage we run. This is probably the second most prevalent, probably up to 30% of our season. 27%, I think, this past year was hot coverage. And this is 3 deep, 2 under. Hot coverage meaning, we have 2 hot players underneath. This is also known in the football world as eyes coverage. It's been very, very trendy here the past few years. We've been doing it for about 6 years now. And it's, like I said, it's a huge part of what we do. As we all know, quarters coverage is basically glorified man-to-man. It's basically glorified cover zero. So this is a good way that when we pressure, that we play a zone behind it, and it's also a good way to keep the middle of the field closed, which is, again, a great complement to playing quarters. If you look at the screen here, basically this is what it amounts to. Long story short, you can bring whatever blitz pattern you want. And if you look at our 6-man blitz video, we went over some different patterns that we run there, whether it's double A or off the edge or America's zone blitz. Whatever you want to draw up is up to you. But on the back end, we are playing hot coverage behind it. And again, it's 3 deep, 2 under, and there's very specific rules and techniques we use for that. But the moral of the story is as you see in the picture here, is 2 underneath hot players that are going to pop their feet and eyes on the quarterback. The minute the quarterback gives us his indicator, whichever way he looks, then we are really going to be aggressive to that side. And then you can see the 3 deep guys again, all 3 of them with their eyes in the backfield, eyes on the quarterback. I don't want to say they're playing zones, a third, and a third, because they're not. But again, just the 3 deep portion of it, and we'll go into exactly what their rules are there. So some keys to hot coverage. All right, number 1, the disguise is key. We want to show too high as long as we can. Again, it's a great compliment to what we really do, because good offensive coordinators are going to try to break down your quarter system. They have quarters beaters that they're going to run and practice all week, and then all of a sudden we spin to a 1 high shell, and then it's an advantage for us. One thing with this, though, the blitzers must go. Like, their hair is on fire. It's critical that the blitz hits home, and it's also critical that if it doesn't hit home, it's gonna force pressure. You want to make the quarterback catch 1, 2, 3, and that ball better be out of there. He doesn't have time to look left, look right, look off, etc. One thing that we do, we have our defensive ends, or whoever our edge blitzers are. It could be a cornerback, could be a linebacker. That they peel. So we auto peel this all the time. So if a running back would swing, that edge blitzer to that side will peel with that. All right. Our tackles will wipe. And we squeeze to a 3-man surface or to the sniffer. And we talked about this again in our 6-man pressure package video, but definitely a very key component there of our movements up front. And then, like I said, it is a 2 deep, 3 under coverage. Why do we run this? Well, very simply, it's the ability to bring 6. We want to be aggressive, but with bringing 6, we're not living and dying in man coverage.
So we're bringing 6, but we're playing zone behind it. We feel it's very safe. We feel very comfortable running on any down and distance. Whereas if the quarterback does make a good decision and can't get the ball out, that we can at least come up and rally up and then make a tackle. And we're not going to get burned in a one-on-one situation where, their guy just beats our guy and they break a long play. It is ideal versus the run. Again, we are slanting our line depending, again, what pattern you're running. It's ideal versus the run. You're gapped out, you're attacking. We love it versus the run. It's very versatile. Like I mentioned, you can run on any down and distance. We love it in the red zone and goal line. The coverage is exactly the same. You got to modify it a little bit, and again, we'll talk about that in the red zone goal line deal. But the thing I love about it is all 5 defenders, you're 3 deep, 2 under, all eyes are on the backfield. All eyes are on the quarterback. You got 10 eyes, 5 sets of eyes on the quarterback. So, and that's something in our quarters deal that we don't get a lot of, because it's basically a glorified man deal. So this is a great complement to that. It is safe. We kind of, preface it as our interception coverage, because, again, all eyes are on the backfield, all eyes are on the quarterback. The minute he looks to throw, we are jumping it and being extremely aggressive on it. A couple more things of why it forces the back to stay in a lot. So if that's something that you're worried about, we are gap sound. All right. So we feel very comfortable running it. It definitely creates a one-on-one pass rush. So if you've got a dude that you're worried about getting to the quarterback, it's going to guarantee him a one-on-one pass rush. Like I mentioned, a great middle of the field closed complement to our quarters deal. The quarterback can't pump fake or look off, and again generates movement up front, and that's something, again, I think you need to have as a part of your defense. So when you're developing a blitz, how you're going to decide what to do, again, don't blitz from depth. I think you got to bluff a little bit. Make sure your gap sound for sure. Make sure, again, if they're in certain formations, you never lose your overhangs there. So in a 3-by-1 set, if we have our Falcon blitz, and we'll actually exchange that and make our Mike the edge blitzer there. Again, don't just blitz the blitz. Break down protections. All right, blitz for a purpose. Why are you blitzing? Blitz to a formation, blitz to a person, blitz from the field, from the boundary, whatever you decide as a coaching staff is your best advantage. That's what you want to do. And then, again, package the blitz and blitz the formation. So package it. It's very specific to where you want it to come from. Because if not, you're just blindly calling a blitz and hoping they come on the formation you want. Okay, you got to build it so that it works out the way you want it to. So specific player techniques. So in hot coverage, we'll talk about our cornerbacks first. And I got some good drill video here and some video to back up what we're talking about. So number one, our cornerbacks, we're going to show press. We're going to show press, make it look exactly like quarters. All right, a couple things here. Verse one receiver. All right, verse one receiver, we're going to do it. It'll look exactly like quarters, except we are going to bail on the snap of the football with our eyes on the quarterback. So we're going to be in the same exact position, inside leverage. The only little tip I'll give the guys, instead of being uptight, arm's length, being able to smell their breath like we talk about, we might back up a yard. So now instead of being right there in the line of scrimmage, we're back a little bit. So that gives us another yard advantage to be able to get out and stay on top of that receiver in case he runs a fade. But we're going to bail on the snap of the ball. Hold your water till the snap of the ball is critical. If there's 2 wide receivers, then we want to bait them a little bit. We feel that if there's 2 wide receivers, that we got to bail, we got to be able to overlap on 2 if needed. So if 1 and 2 run a vertical, and I'm that third defender, basically. Again, I say third lightly, but I got to be able to bail. If they both run vertical, I got to be able to overlap on number 2 if they try to pop that seam ball in there between 18 and 22 yards. All right, and we'll talk about that in a bit. So a couple things. As they bail, what are they looking at? So they're obviously looking at the quarterback. If the quarterback looks away from the cornerback, then if there's a number 2, they're going to overlap on him. All right, very simply. If there's not a number 2, then they're just going to stay on top of their number 1. If the quarterback looks to you as a cornerback, then you're going to stay heavy on the number 1 receiver. That's simple. You're going to bail, stay on top of your number 1 receiver. Again, looks at you, stay on 1. If he looks away from you, then we're going to begin to overlap the number 2 receiver if we have one going vertical, and that's it. All right, so that's the cornerbacks. I got some good teach tape here. So again, notice we're in our pre-snap press alignment, and notice we're a little farther off than we would be if we were press. All right, just a great pre-snap bail. Good technique here, staying on top of the vertical route. If that number 1 receiver would happen to hitch up, say run smash, well, it's very likely they got a number 2 in here running a corner or a vertical, then we got to be able to just keep going in our zone, stay as deep as the deepest guy in our zone. Another look of it. All right, nothing crazy there, but again, bailing on the snap of the football. All right, go on his movement. Now here's a deal here where we're baiting them. We're going to pre-snap bail. So we're going to get out a little bit earlier. All right, one's going vertical and two's up the hash. If the quarterback looks away from us, we got to be able to overlap onto that number 2, just like this picture here. All right, so again, you have 2 receivers, pre-snap bail. Quarterback looks away from me. I got to be able to overlap on number 2. Here's a good video clip of it in a game. So let's look at corner down here. So as you can see, both these receivers are in a stack alignment. All right, they run a switch release, one outside, one down the middle. The corner does a good job here of, again, overlapping his number 2. And he makes a great play on the ball. Another picture here down the bottom. All right, they run again a smash, some version of a smash 7 right there. Quarterback bails. He hitches up. We're going to continue in our zone because we have other guys going deep, and I believe this is a corner route that corner makes a good play on the ball. Now up top, this would be one of our corner pressures coming off the edge. So the safety here is playing basically his third to the boundary. Again, eyes on the quarterback. Then you're able to make the interception. All right, now we're on to the delay high hole safeties. This is going to be one of our safeties. It's always going to be the middle safety, the middle third. I say third lightly, but we call it delay high hole safety because he's going to delay his drop. We don't ever just want to bail out of there. So 3 shuffle steps reading the quarterback. So snap of the ball, we're showing 2 high. All right, likely moving to the middle of the field. We're going to take 3 shuffles to the middle. All right, and we are reading runner pass. If it's run, all right, we are going to put our foot in the ground and we are going to fill and spill the ball to our seam defenders. All right, fill and spill the ball to our seam defenders. If it is pass, all right, so now I take 3 shuffles. I read hi-hat, I read pass. All right, I'm going to push to the number 2 receiver of the side he looks. So if you remember, we just talked about the cornerback. All right, I'm going to work to the middle. I read pass. Quarterback looks to my left. I'm going to push to the number 2 on this side. This corner over here is going to push to the number 2 on this side. All right, like I just said before, he's going to overlap his 2. So we're working in conjunction, like on a string, okay? Very simply, if there's a 3-by-1 formation, all right, as I shuffle, I am going to use a torch technique, which is basically we're going to hang out a real slow shuffle there, waiting to clear 3 vertical before we work to the middle of the field. Because basically, long story short, a lot of offenses, 3-by-1, we're bringing pressure. If they see the pressure, if they anticipate the pressure, they're going to try to pop it to number 3 right there on a little stick route, a little spot route. So we want to hang out on top of him before we just start to work to the middle of the field. We just call that torch. We want to stay on top of the torch right there to protect that little dump, that little pop pass, that little hot throw right in that stick window of 3-by-1. So here's a good picture of the delay high hole safety. So picture this safety being on his hash mark. He's going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. He reads pass. Then he's going to work to the middle of the field. All right, a little fishtail technique. And this is just a good little drill that we do. This is obviously Ohio State doing this that we clinicked with. But work to the middle. Quarterback looks the other way, and then we go back and high point the football. Same deal here. Again, this is Michigan State doing it years ago, showing quarters. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Read pass, work back. Read the quarterback now. Where's the quarterback looking? All right, he's looking here. We jump the ball, high point it, and make the interception. So again, nothing really new here with the drill per se, but it's that delay shuffle steps that we like to see because we are reading runner pass while we're doing that. Because if it's run, then we need to be the top of the triangle coming down to spill the ball if it pops through. All right, here's a video clip of a team that we played doing this exact deal. So here's the delay high hole safety right here, holding his water. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, he's in a good situation there. Sees the ball thrown already. All right, and is able to make a play on the ball. Another picture here, same thing. Delay high hole safety, probably went a little bit early. We'd like to hold his water, shuffle, 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 reach pass. Quarterback's obviously looking this way. All right, so this corner's going to overlap. This safety should be overlapping this vertical right here, which he does, and he's out of the picture, but I think you could see him working towards that right there. All right, one more clip here. Then I got some actual video of some of the pressures us running. Same thing here. So here's that. It's even though this is empty, there's 3 by 1 on this side. All right, 2 over here. So torch technique on this guy right here. We're looking to just hang out here. All right, hang out, protect that little pop pass. All right, looks like they kind of made an error. Quarterback made a bad throw, but we were in the right situation where they needed to be. So again, here's that torch technique. Same thing. This DB right here is the high hole safety. They're looking to pop a little stick to number 3. All right, safety's hanging out there. And even if they do complete it, we're there to make a play on the ball. This actually got tipped. But point is, that's what offenses try to do to you if they feel you're bringing some pressure. Same thing here. Delay high hole safety, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, and this is actually one of our hot players making a play on the ball and intercepting it. All right, so hot players. That last video goes in conjunction with this. So these are our seam defenders. These can be mostly linebackers. Occasionally it's our boundary safety. Sometimes it's our field safety. These are our hot players. They, again, show quarters at the snap. All right, if they're a linebacker, we want them backing up to about 7 yards pre-snap a little bit. If it's a safety, they can maintain their normal 8, 9, 10 yards, and they just take a step or 2 down. Again, if you're a hot player, if you're a seam defender, we would like you to be at the snap of the ball 2 yards inside the number 2 wide receiver. If there's no number 2, then we want you 2 yards outside the tackle. Again, always good relationship there, but we do move based on the formation given to us. If it's sprint out, I tell my kids all the time, if they sprint out, our hot players, we sprint out. So we got to match their sprint out, because if they're sprinting out, they're throwing the ball over there. We're going to sprint out with them. All right, and again, we read the quarterback. Very simply, hot players, sitting about 7 yards, popping our feet, clearing our cleats. If he looks at me, I want to hold my landmark. I want to stay right where I'm at. All right. If he looks away from me, so as I'm here, pop my feet, he looks that way, I am going to sprint to get into the quarterback's vision, because he's looking that way. He's going to throw it that way. We are banking that we're going to get home. We're going to pressure him that he's going to throw the ball 1, 2, 3 throw. All right. There's no way he's going to look there and throw back here. All right. If he does, then I got the wrong people blitzing. All right. If they run the ball, so as I'm a hot player, I'm popping my feet, and they run the football. All right. We have all 6 gaps covered. If it happens to pop, all right, which it shouldn't, but if it does, I'm going to make sure I'm a contained player. I'm going to keep the ball on my inside shoulder. All right, because I know I have my other hot player over there keeping the ball on his inside shoulder, and I know behind me I have my delay high hole safety coming down to form that triangle. So at the end of the day, if they do pop through, we have a hot player here on this side of the ball. We have a hot player here on this side of the ball. Here's the football. We have our safety here. All right, we got our 6 guys up here blitzing. Doesn't matter what pattern you have. Okay, if the ball would pop through, I'm going to keep the ball on my inside shoulder. I'm going to keep it on my inside shoulder. And here's our safety coming top down. All right, that's how we kind of funnel them where we want them to be. All right. One last thing with our hot players that's different than our regular quarter structure. In our quarter structure, we want to reroute. We want to get hands on 2 if we can. All right, and 3. Here, we do not want to reroute. We feel that when we go to reroute, it takes our eyes off the quarterback. We want to read the quarterback, be 100% focused on him. All right. Here's a little good practice video. This is a drill that we do every day. I stole from these guys. This is Ohio State doing this, but very simply, 2 bags. This is the quarterback. We're just popping our feet right here, clearing our cleats, and triggering right here. Quarterback looks that way. We want to sprint to get into his vision. All right, it's just a simple drill that we do every day, again, trying to teach our kids how to do it. All right, here's a good view down here at our hot player down here. Snap of the ball, quarterback looks at us. If he looks at us, we hold our ground. All right, hold our ground. Ball's thrown. We make a play on the ball. All right, we'll look at the backside hot player. It's our boundary safety. He comes down. Pops his feet, 7 yards. The minute the quarterback looks here, he should be sprinting to get in the quarterback's vision. All right, which he does a pretty good job. Right now the quarterback looks, probably could have took off a half sec earlier, but good picture of it. One thing here for the hot players, ignore the fake. So a lot of times we'll get zone read, bubble. All right, so as a hot player, again, we're popping our feet. We never want to bite in on the fake. All right, we got to ignore the fake and trust what we see. So right here, our hot player does a good job, popping his feet, reacting. Even though it's incomplete, we're going to be in good position. And here's a situation where this guy for this team did a poor job of it. They run again, same play, zone read, bubble. All right, he hangs out, goes in for the fake. You'll see a couple false steps here. Right there. Now they just lost their leverage. They're going to get blocked, and the other team has the ball in the perimeter. All right, so again, ignore the fake. All right, I mentioned this a minute ago versus sprint out. If the offense sprints out, we sprint out. Just a great little reminder. So right there, hot players, right here and here. The minute the quarterback, again, we're waiting to see where he looks. If he looks this way, I'm holding my ground, I'm sprinting. If he rolls out this way, we're both taking off. So watch both of these hot players. They should both be taking off down here because, again, if the quarterback is rolling out, he just cut half his field down. The ball's being thrown somewhere over here. So you see both hot players on a dead sprint, and then here's our safety here doing a good job as well. All right, look at the corner. Balin, is he looking at me? If he's looking at me, heck yeah, he's looking at me. He's rolling towards me. I got to stay on one. He does a good job. Delay high hole safety right here. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. He sees pass. Which way is the quarterback looking? Well, heck, he's rolling this way, which means he's going that way. I need to lean my number 2 this way. Let's see what happens. All right, there's 1 vertical. 2 went out. Here's my 2 vertical. I need to jump that number 2 vertical right there. Doesn't get any better than that. Here's a good picture here. Again, I think we're bringing a boundary pressure, so we're bringing 6. All right, here's a hot player here. Here's a hot player here. Here's our delay high hole safety, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, and this guy will play this third, and he'll play that third up there. All right, quick bubble, boom. You see both of the hot players. Take off, keep the ball on my inside shoulder. Critical, all right, because I know I got these 6 running. I know I got this hot player running, and I know I got this guy top down. Plus the corners as well. Their eyes will be in the backfield. Pretty good by our cornerback to the field here. Look at his eyes. All right, all eyes are on the quarterback. He sees the ball thrown here, sees the ball thrown. Boom. He's going to trigger as well. Really good stuff. So a little bubble there, -1. Good picture. I want you to look at our mic here. This is our hot player. Watch his eyes. The minute this quarterback pulls, all right, and throws, he is taking off to get in his vision. Right there. Boom. Love it. Another clip here. We're coming from the boundary. All right, boundary. So he's going to play 1. He's hot. He's hot. Let's see where the quarterback looks. Motion across doesn't affect us. Our mic does a good job. Again, the back swings, we're going to peel. Actually, we converted this. We didn't bring the corner. We brought the boundary safety instead. But nonetheless, we're still bringing 6. Again, you can switch up whatever blitz pattern you like. There's our peel. There's our peel. So let's look at that again. Edge pressure. Whoever your edge blitzer is, the running back swings, you got to peel. That's good. Hot players. Right there. Which way is the quarterback looking? He's looking here. This guy holds his ground. All right, hold your landmark. The backside hot player is sprinting to get into the quarterback's vision. Boom. Does a great job of that. Unfortunately, left his hands at home, or he would have had 6 points there. But great job. Really good here by delay high hole safety. Again, they get trips, so he's going to run our torch technique, which is basically just hang out before you shuffle, because, again, we're looking for them to dump the ball to number 3 right here, which they do. If he does catch it and this hot player's not there, then we're here at least to tackle him for 5 yards or less. Again, watch the eyes of our Mike. Boom, turns the throw. He is sprinting to get in the quarterback's vision. Just got to finish the play. All right, another boundary one. So again, we're coming from the boundary, bringing 6. Corner's going to play 1. This safety, let's see what he does. He should shuffle, runner pass. If he sees run, which way does the quarterback look? Quarterback's looking here. This safety's actually a little slow. He needs to really press over to the number 2 receiver. So it's this guy right here to the side the quarterback looks. So this is actually a good picture of us not doing it how we need to do it. The safety needs to be better here. All right. Field under, so we're coming from the field here now, which I believe they designated in the middle of the field. They designated down here. All right, so he's hot. All right, he's third. He's a third player. All right, we're actually doing this out of our third down package. So we're showing here's a hot player here. Here's a hot player here. Third, delay high hold safety's back there. He's bailing there. Point is, good job. This is a hot player, is our safety, field safety. Come down. He's going to come down to about 7 yards and read. The minute the quarterback looks, quarterback boots. He's looking his way. Hold your landmark. Throws it. Now that ball got tipped, but very likely he would have picked the ball off or been there to make a play on the ball when he caught it. All right, here's a good picture of it, and we'll look at this more when we get into our goal line stuff. But, again, we're playing hot down here. He's the third player. Hot player. But all this ends up becoming is all 5 of us across the goal line with eyes in the backfield. So these 3 are kind of doing a good job of it. We have done this before where we didn't press. We just played off, kind of catch technique. We've done both. So we have all 5 guys with eyes in the backfield. Nonetheless, though, we're bringing 6. Even though we get home under pressure and make him throw it earlier than he wanted, we got eyes. And if they completed this little tunnel screen, I felt confident that we'd come up and make the play on the tackle there for a stop on 4th down. All right, here's a couple double A gap, hot pressures. So again, we're bringing 6 here. He's going to be a hot player here. He's going to be a hot player here. Delay high hole. All right, deep third. Let's see the quarterback. Where's he looking? Looking right here. They try to pop it here. So hold your landmark. Sprint to get in the vision. All right, tip ball. So again, very aggressive, forces the quarterback to not hold the ball, get rid of it. Same game, same blitz, almost the same, actually a little better outcome for us. Ball gets tipped again. They try to dump it to the same guy. Our hot player actually picks it off and is able to finish in the end zone. Again, interception coverage for us. Double A gap. So these guys are coming. Hot player. Again, no number 2, so we want him about 2 yards outside, about 7 yards deep. He's going to come down inside at 2, unless he's tight, which in this case he is kind of tight, so we're going to come down right on top of him, maybe 2 yards outside of him. And the other 3 are your deep guys. Good picture there. Again, come down. All right. He's looking at me, hold my landmark. This guy should be sprinting here. All right, jump it, make a play on the ball. Now we just got to watch not to get out leveraged there. That's why I said he's tight, so we almost treat him like a tight end. I'd rather this guy come down maybe a little bit outside here. Again, ball's thrown away. All right, so that's it. That's hot coverage. Again, big part of what we do. 3 deep, 2 under, very, very safe, yet very aggressive package that we've had a lot of success with.
if the girls were older and he was younger, I'd be like, I'd tell them the same.